Hello, my name is Steph. If you'd like to come on and have a seat for some symbolic support or daily inspiration, we're going to drop some ink on the scroll, scrying for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on some tarot and oracle and the shaman's palm configuration. And where Mr. Ghosty here is kicking, we have Ghost Tube for any audio additions from the afterlife that may further add to our auric adventures. Overall, please do receive or release freely. If you are new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. I'm so grateful for your time, attention, and awareness as your presence and perspective is powerful. Let's go. All right, we're just going to keep it simple today with black, white, red, and gray. I hope you are doing well. For whatever reason, I'm feeling that. As a reminder, if you're new here, we're here to create a portal to perceive in, less worrying about
Talk
making...
with me.
Yeah, we're so here listening. Wound, are you wounded? We're here to create a portal to perceive in, less worrying about making a masterpiece. Always feel well to comment below what you see, sense, or feel, as your reflections do help deepen the reading. And all the links are below to help a gal grow. Thank you. Any interactions, drop an emoji. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated.
Show yourself.
All right, when you are ready. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. If you're opening up with me, we're taking a nice deep breath. Closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush. Activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of anyone here at any time. Thank you for being my muse, and may you meet a message with meaning. Here is our scroll. If you would like to take a screenshot, by all means, feel well to do so. Personal use only. What is the show? Show yourself. I'm going to write that down just in case it's a... All right. Okay, let's dig in. There's definitely some eyes in there. Hands on the hips. Hands on the hips. There's gophers down here. I think they're gophers. And ears. Okay, this message might be for one or some. Just going to throw it out there.
Sin.
Is blinders of anger. Or anger is causing blind. You might even be getting like headaches. Like temple headaches, more specifically. I feel like when I step into that, I'm kind of repressing something. Like I don't want to admit that this ticks me off. There's little Dumbo elephants in here. Actually, put the elephant and a rhino together. Rhino's been coming through a lot, so
I'm right here.
If that symbol, hello, we're right here with you. Hearing devices. There's something happening in my right peripheral. I can see it in my hallway. It's like flashes. Okay, so I'm also, for some, might be working through a passion path. A passion path. That's exactly how I'm going to call that. So this passion path, the way I am receiving it is, I'll bring it up to you, right up here.
This is my place.
See this little boat? And I'm traveling, and then I'm going to go down this way. I might go in there, but I actually think I'm going to go here, and it's actually here. I think I want... Okay. If someone's looking for, when they say, well, what is it that you want? Or maybe you're moving through a creative block, an idea, decision. It's like, well, saying what you want, but it's kind of frustrating, right? Or it can be. I don't want to say it is. It can be. So I kind of am moving through the box of what my passion could be, or what the most passionate path. And I got to travel that for a moment before it's received in my peripheral, like a sprite or a bright. You might also like notice that if you're thinking, contemplating, and you notice these little sparks of something or other, and you're like, oh, maybe I'm going to focus on that direction. Yeah, okay, sorry. There's... okay, put a hummingbird on the end of a gooseneck.
Pendant.
That merging might mean something. As well, there's a man. Okay, the man, I believe he's in the afterlife. No, this man is still in density. He's still in form. He is being cradled by an energy in spirit because he is angry. I believe it's maybe somebody he loved past in a not so kind way. And that anger, it's moving through like an acute state of grief. Okay. He's very much so like head down. It's almost like I'm in disbelief. Something about like the Groundhog Day about it. Groundhog Day about it. Okay, yeah, there he is. Okay, King of Knives. And what else was this that came out? And the Four of Holy Waters. He's not receiving help from people in density here. Spirit's trying to cradle him. Whether this is you or somebody you know or an energy you can relate to. Or if it's not your scry story, thank you for holding space for someone to receive it. As you said, it's like I don't want to be lied to again. If I fall in love again, I don't want that to be taken away from me. Yeah, 10 of Wands. Okay, can I shift over for a moment? Because there's a rabbit hole opening up. And I just... okay, so my masculine energy is debating on how I want to proceed with this. Boring doesn't necessarily mean bad. Some people enjoy, the way I'm sensing that is, if there's a lack of excitement or a lack of a charged energy, perhaps in this passion path, it's very boring. And while excitement and whatnot is very great for others, or at certain times, it could also be an addiction to, if there's not a tragedy or if there's not something escalating in energy, then one is bored. And it's almost like waiting for fires, just so that there's something to ignite anger or positioning or power. There's another story going on here as well about somebody on this passion path, that they are going to see it with their own eyes. It's something you've already done. So it's something maybe in your space of current existence, the seed of it is already in something you've tried, applied, you'll be coming back to it. In the Cave of Hearth Fires is the three of holy waters. Okay, so there's another story opening up here. There's a relationship of the heart. I don't know. Okay, can you give me a Cave of Rivers? My face is all scrunched up. Well, I have here the Five of Swords and the Eight of Wands. I'm just going to move you. Cave of Earth. Lots of fire. The Four of Wands. Okay. On the bottom is the Two of Cups. There's a healing occurring But this is not without, like, do you see the story? It could be masculine energy, feminine energy, hearing, remembering, things seeming redundant. Maybe this is a conversation with your father, your uncle,
Drink.
your own insights. Not listening. Someone's not listening to someone else. And I think it has something to do with a power position or somebody very youthful in their power, in the way they project it out. It seems very loud. It seems very young and a youthful way to project out. But here's the irony. It's either the other person is younger and they are the mature one. They are the wisdom keeper.
Halt.
So they are having to, as you said, halt, draw back. Maybe you can relate to the story in your own way, shape, or form, dealing with different levels, maturity levels of power. And while somebody might be in an elder position, let's just say whatever that might be, corporate, creative, personal, professional, you can actually see them navigating that, and you might be in the position of kind of, I'm not saying putting up with anything, but you just have this wisdom about, oh, they're learning. They're learning. But still, you might have had to, if this isn't like a love relationship, I feel like I'm asking for a lot of forgiveness. But this feels like in some way, shape, or form, it's in a cycle of something, and I don't know that. I don't. The cycle's been so reoccurring that even the work that's going to be done by the more immature energy, it won't be met in this lifetime per se. I don't mean to be harsh. I'm not trying to say that like in a give up. This just means the benefits of the work will be for you to receive first before expecting something from somebody outside of you. And while we are interconnected, and I could say that, but now that other person has their own stuff that they're going to do to decide how they're going to proceed with that. Anywho, okay, and then coming in here in the Cave of Rivers, it's like, okay, well, I'm going to get to work because there has been some sort of lies, maybe lies that your boss told you, your partner told you, or I don't want to use that term. It's very uncomfortable, but I'll use it. Hopefully you understand what is perceived as false hope from the collective. And I don't know if this is a hopeful frequency, but the way you have experienced it has been false hope. I'm not entirely sure. So it's like stepping out of the hoop of hope, not because it's a good or bad word, but simply because it is possibly, in some cases, depending, it's like leaving everything up to circumstances around me. It's like, oh, just, well, I'm hopeful. That can be a little bit of a hostage-y situation as well, but when hope is attached to the heart, I feel like it goes a little farther and it stays in its positive polarity. And then when I come into the Cave of Earth with this Four of Wands, and I feel like I'm able to consume a life force within myself and to create with that, realizing it's never been about the other person. I might have used that other person, that relationship, that failure, those lies that were told, and freedom is coming up here to support. But in order for me to, okay, so I'm going to say it's like taking something back, and in the cheesy way, but it's a great way, I suppose, of saying it, is taking back your own power. The way I'm seeing that is, if you've ever seen Game of Thrones, the opening and like there's blood moving through, I think like all the different town things or whatever the molds are. And imagine putting it in reverse and getting back to the source of it. That's what it feels like. This isn't in a severing or a punishment, but it's like having to, in order to fully be of service to your wise ways, sometimes pulling back and drawing back and collecting your own energy Yeah, because, sorry, something's transforming. There's a forge here. There's a forge. And I'm using fire to forge. It's like I'm using the wands of wood and fire of creation to create this forge. Putting my wands in, or sorry, my swords, my metals in, possibly of the mind as well. And the water, what do they do afterwards? Like when they've cut and they dip it in what I think is water, at least that's how I'm seeing it. And they dip it in and it cools it off to see, and then they see if there's like any cracks or if there's any bends. That's what you're doing. You're forging a new frequency for you. It's really quite impressive. I'm sorry if it took a long-winded, weird way to get here, but it's definitely forging a new frequency. And it's like hardened steel, or it's just changing forms. Yeah, it's changing forms. There's certain freedom from something that's coming through, and I think this is as I draw the energy back when I was seeing that Game of Thrones thing. And then we have here the cow pie. Warning. I think that for one or the other case, warnings have been made. And blessings with Kuna Kadiet. I'm not going to...
Greetings.
5 and 10. Greetings. Hello. Let's add on 2 more just to kind of complete this paranormal poker hand. You have here treasure. This is not free. What you're doing, it's almost like some people leaving your life or coming into your life, drawing your energy back, forging out this new frequency. The power to do so, the discipline to do so, starts to form. Like I think you really realize things have been a blessing in disguise. People, places, or things that didn't work out are blessings in disguise. Because it's like through this freedom of certain things, but without an ignorance that there might be a detoxing through that on your end, staying in accountability. And maybe you've had to detox from certain things. Where is it? And heed warnings along the way. And I feel like if anyone has tried to be like threatening, here's the thing, when I wander into that energy, like if anyone tries to like threaten something, like, well, if you leave, or if you leave this job, or if, I don't know why it's a leaving sense, but nonetheless, there it is. And it's like, but then there is this really quick, please forgive me. And it feels like a very non-authentic. It feels desperate. And you realize wherever you've gone, made certain decisions in your life, that it really has been a blessing in disguise, whatever work that you've decided to do. And yeah, you can try and say whatever you'd like to say. You're a traitor, or you abandoned. All these very triggering words are coming through, but I gotta say, I found my own treasure. This is where you met your fire. Your fire. This is this dragon kind of lights up the forge. And then wherever you go and begin to sail, like from over here, and he's in this boat here, it's in like golden flow of reciprocity. Yeah. Yep. And the search continues for that, because it's about the experience of the search, moving through the creative blocks, whatever the case may be, finding different parts of yourselves, forging different frequencies, new passion paths, passion projects, letting some go, letting some stay, whatever the case is. That is really the beauty, the mosaic of everything that's happening here. Let us not be blind by anger or by our passions. Recognize that we may, see and hear things that we don't like or that we're caught up in. And that's the moment we get to put into play our wisdom.
Joan. And
not fall back. Very Joan of Arc style. Okay, I will see you tomorrow for the flip side. Until then, I hope this would serve, inspire, educate, or entertain. So much love. Cut the cards. Protection. elixir of life and good fortune. There is a new union somewhere for somebody as well.